Hello everyone and Merry Christmas. This is the final round of 8 bout from the Turin Grand Prix this December. I'm live commentating it as always. On the left is Timur Safin of Russia, and on the right is Valerio Aspromonte of Italy. So I do know that Safin wins this bout, but that's basically all I know. Let's get right into this thing. So right off the bat, I'd say both these fencers' main advantage is going to be their technique. Also, interestingly, both the Russian and Italian teams have Italian coaches. You have Cerioni for the Russians and Cipressa for the Italians. So there will probably be a lot of similarities here. I'm going to adjust the volume a little bit. It wouldn't be a live commentary without me adjusting the volume to start things out. Alright, let's see what both these guys have in store. Bit of an easy march there from Safin. Accelerates and finishes. One hallmark of Safin's footwork, he's got this great accelerating long advance lunge. Here I think Aspromonte just wasn't quite ready for that level of intensity coming from him. Parry riposte is the call. It looked like Safin actually found the lame but didn't turn a light on at first. Another easy march forward by Safin. Gives his attack up. Now, we saw, I did a live commentary with Safin before. Nice accelerating beat attack there from Aspromonte. Actually quite similar to what Safin's looked like, although he delivered it with a flick. I live commentated about earlier with Safin, and he did this thing where he would alternate between finishing his attacks really short and using it as a setup for his next action, and finishing them long to try and catch his opponent by surprise. It looks like that may be his mindset going into this one as well. Can he find a way through this defense by Aspromonte? Not quite. Aspromonte gets the parry riposte in close. That's twice now that he's hit with the flick to the front shoulder. Mass cord coming off there. Obviously you have to replace that before he can start fencing again. So Safin is quite good at disengaging on this long attack. He can do several disengages in the course of just the single advance lunge. But Aspromonte's defense close distance like that is very, very strong. I actually live commentated about with him and Race and Bowden earlier as well. That was, I think, the first one I did. Safin getting some more distance on the strip. Accelerates, but can't quite find a way through, again. It's actually quite rare that you see Safin try to hit with a flesh or a running attack like that. He usually favors a very long advanced lunge. Maybe he thought, if I can get even a little bit closer than I did before, I can find a way past that very annoying parry riposte that Aspromonte has. Aspromonte comes out with an attack now. Safin keeps the distance wide. Makes sense. If Safin's going to try and hit with a long advanced lunge, you don't want to be starting it from too close together. Although this time, Aspromonte creeps up on him as he's marching and lands a counterattack. But yeah, if Safin's going to try and hit with a very long advanced lunge, it makes sense that you'd want to defend from far away, because if you start your attack from too close, it's already going to be quite hard to land that with Aspromonte's very sharp parry riposte. Aspromonte does like getting quite close on the defense, though. So if Safin can maybe bait out a parry from farther away, he might have better luck. But it doesn't matter, because Aspromonte starts marching very fast. Oh, wow. Behind the head. Parry 6 to behind the head. Very nice touch. So Safin's getting eaten alive when he gets close this time. That's twice now that it looks like he's trying to collapse the distance faster than Aspromonte can react, but Aspromonte has a solution for all of those. So we'll see what Safin's going to do to turn this around. 1-5 isn't really scary though yet. Still plenty of time to play around and see what's what. On the whole, I would give the advantage results-wise to Safin here. He's proven himself more in the past than Aspromonte has, but Aspromonte, of course, no pushover. Final call parry riposte again to the front shoulder there from Safin. Actually, that's kind of been a hallmark this bout. Both have gone for some front shoulder touches. Not quite clear as to why. Safin does like being a little bit more straightforward with his touches. Does not do that many flicks. Mysterious off target before he can get in. And do the standard stopgap solution and lick the prongs of his body cord to increase the conductivity just a little bit. Long attack from Safin. Now this time he pulls his arm all the way back. Aspromonte's parry gets nothing, and Safin extends his arm then to hit. So that's actually not something you usually see from Safin. He likes a very small disengage usually on that long attack. But this time it was it wasn't sufficient before. Left attack. I agree with the referee on that one. I did not hear a parry there from Aspromonte. But yeah, normally Safin likes a very small, very crisp disengage. And I guess Aspromonte was able to pick that up pretty easily. So when Safin pulls his arm back, Aspromonte is expecting it to be another tight little disengage. So his parry whiffed, and Safin was able to use that time to hit very quickly. Interesting adjustment. Giving actually quite a bit of thought to this video review call. That one looked pretty straightforward, though, Safin. I wish I could see the video review, as always. It's quite hard to find footage that includes a video review, though, that's not been edited or commentated already. Really? The call's reversed. I'll have to go back and watch that again. I don't know why. Aspromonte marches. Again, that long flick to the front shoulder, he misses and hits the arm instead. Also, you'll note Aspromonte is doing the... Oh, Safin picks it up on the way in. That's... I didn't expect that to work, actually. Normally when the distance collapses like that, Aspromonte is the one who comes out ahead. But you saw there, Aspromonte was, again, doing the usual thing when you march. You don't want to get counterattacked. You just vary your footwork all the time. There was Korokor there. Aspromonte a little bit miffed. Again, I'm not sure why Safin is collapsing the distance. This might be yellow card for Korokor to avoid a touch. That's fair. Maybe for jostling, but it's probably more to avoid a touch because Aspromonte was going for the infighting and Safin just kind of shouldered him. Easy march from Safin. Stop hit off target from Aspromonte. Are you going to find a way through this time, though? He finishes straight this time, so that's probably a setup. Nice. Yeah, so he finished it straight. Aspromonte took the parry and was like, oh wow, I got it on the first one. So he starts marching, maybe a little too confident. Safin picks it up. That was scary, coming forward right off the line like that. But he slows things down, starts marching again. How's he going to find a way through? Aspromonte beats the blade, though, so he's got to get back. Oh, okay. So he kept the distance much closer than before. And that facilitated a stop hit. Because before, Safin was defending from pretty far away. Probably because when he attacked, he wanted to make a very long attack himself. This time, changing the distance, staying closer, Aspromonte, I guess, failed to account for the fact that a stop hit is possible. Nice long lunge from Aspromonte, but he goes off target. So Safin's done a great job so far switching things up to pull his way back. Scores are now even, of course. We'll see if Aspromonte can similarly vary his game. Okay. Again, the closer the distance, the more I favor Aspromonte. But there were a couple of instances where Safin turned that on its head, so I really don't know. It does make sense that Aspromonte would keep looking for those close distance situations. Long attack to gain distance. Safin pushes, almost stepping off the strip there. Hope the ref is watching out for that. Goes for the stepping and counterattack again, but there's no lights. But the fact that Aspromonte didn't hit with that attack indicates that Safin's found some way to mitigate his close distance point control by crushing the distance fast enough. Or perhaps just doing so at the right time. Because before he was going fast, but Aspromonte was still hitting. Something appears to be off with Aspromonte's health at the moment. He may have gotten hit in the groin. Anyone who's fenced and hasn't had this happen to them, I consider you very lucky. It is incredibly painful. Aspromonte pushes. Very nice acceleration. That looked like something directly out of Safin's playbook. But again, goes off target. He's been going for these pretty high... Oh! Parry posting close there from Safin. That looked like a read or a very lucky guess. He did that so smoothly, he had to have felt it coming. But yeah, Aspromonte's going for a lot of these shoulder flicks, and with a tempo that looks like something Safin would do. Again, very... wow. I wouldn't give a card here, but wow. This is quite a jostly bout we have. But these shoulder flicks from Aspromonte, as I was saying, haven't been paying off as well as they have earlier. He's been hitting the arm more often than not recently. Although the acceleration is very nice, Safin's maybe quite used to it because he does it so often himself. And I'm not surprised that we're seeing this many similarities after all. They share a national coach, or they don't share a national coach. The national coaches share a nationality. And you can very much see that in their styles. Red card for Safin, touch for Aspromonte, I guess, for more jostling, or maybe core to avoid a touch. With an action like that, the line's kind of blurred. You could easily call it either way. Beats from Safin. Finishes his attack short. Aspromonte somehow falls short there. Safin goes for the shoulder flick, and he misses because Aspromonte crushes the distance. So that was basically the earlier situation when it was like 7-7, flipped right on its head. Or 6-7 maybe. So basically seeing a mirror now of what was happening before. Safin tries to step in, but again, Aspromonte is the one who comes out ahead in that infighting situation, although there was core before the touch. I agree with the referee on this one. The question might be, did Safin cause core deliberately? Aspromonte has a video review if he wants to call it, but looks like no. Yeah, this is quite a fight we have in our hands here. Almost a boxing match. Simultaneous attacks, one light for Aspromonte somehow. I don't know what went wrong there with Safin. But it seems that by just matching Safin basically action for action, Aspromonte is now the one coming out ahead. Short beat attack from Safin. Maybe just to gain space. Point line from Aspromonte. He probably wants to go to time. Safin does not want to, though. Oh, that is a very critical touch to get, though. It's always nice when you can score one more, even if you're down in score, if you can just get one right before the break. And that was another kind of longish attack from Safin where he pulled his arm back to avoid Aspromonte's parry. So, wow. 1 minute break now. Yeah, early advantage for Aspromonte. Safin managed to pull back by basically falling back on his rudiments, working the distance. He did end up getting pretty close, although for part of it that didn't favor Aspromonte as much as I was expecting. Although now it's kind of swung back in Aspromonte's favor in those situations. Also very nice changes from Safin, kind of abandoning his usual very technically correct style and going for some more withheld long attacks. And Aspromonte's long attacks, although they've been just as powerful as Safin's, the fact that he's going for that shoulder flick and it's been hitting the arm a lot. Also the Russian coach comes over and... I don't know what he was talking about there. But yeah, Aspromonte's shoulder flicks have not been as successful as they could have been. Safin's missed a few himself, though. Although Safin is probably more inclined to go for a straight touch than a flick to the front shoulder. We saw this in his bout with Cheremisinov in the Rio round of 32 as well. Alright, we're going to start this bout up again. 8-10, red card for Safin. See if that comes into play. Aspromonte marches. Long defense from Safin this time. Doesn't want to end up too close. May have whipped Aspromonte in the wrist there, or in the fingers. Aspromonte's been getting quite beaten up this bout. But with these cores getting hit in the groin, and now the hand. It's quite rough. But such is fencing. It is the safest, one of the safest sports of the Olympics. But injuries are possible. Beat attack from Safin. Yeah, I agree. The blade was pretty much uniform where the blade contact was, but Safin was the attacker there. Long attack from Aspromonte. Safin escapes. Again, keeping that wide distance on defense. Gives his attack away. Will he start something off of this? Keeping the distance wide now, so he's probably not going to try and counterattack. Does step in, yeah. So he probed in and stopped retreating, so Aspromonte's next advance would carry them closer together, but he couldn't set up a counterattack from that. He decided to retreat, but by then it was too late. Aspromonte was already finishing. So, that's the problem. That's the main trouble with counterattacking. Attack from Aspromonte? I don't know about that call. Not that I doubt the call, I actually have no idea. But yeah, the main trouble that you see with counterattacking, especially with people with technique this good, is how do you sneak up on them close enough so that your distance is right to do the counterattack. It's not really actually doing the counterattack. Usually by the time the counterattack happens, the touch is already sealed because the distance setup was so good. But in this case, Safin was starting from farther away, and he couldn't quite sneak up on Aspromonte enough to get in the right distance to counterattack. That was more the distance that a stop hit would work on, but Aspromonte wasn't opening himself up to it by going too fast. And he was definitely ready to finish there at any rate. And the fencing resumes. Long attack from... Oh my god, wow. What's going to be the call? Again, that long withheld attack from Safin, trying to crush right in the distance. Aspromonte is very good at infighting, but I think Safin was coming so hard that he couldn't find the tip in time. Although there is the question of whether or not Core there is deliberate to avoid a touch, or if it's jostling. It's kind of skirting a fine line. Personally, I'm not sure if going faster in that situation is the right call. Beat attack off target there from Aspromonte. Aspromonte marches. Safin gives him plenty of space. Again, pretty wide distance. Again, this infighting just looks super, super painful. Safin escapes and starts himself. That's going to be his speed attack, probably. Really? There were 2 blade contacts. I didn't hear that very well. Actually, I should probably increase the volume now, because I can't quite hear the talk of the blades. They're going to go to the video review in any case. If there were 2 blade contacts, obviously that touch goes to Aspromonte, but I only heard 1, so I don't know. Okay, it looks like the call is in fact parry or post off target. I couldn't quite see the referee's hand. Oh my god, that's infighting though. Okay, this time the touch was probably with the halt, not after it, so touch stands. Again, Aspromonte here, that was more a case of him just forcing a close distance situation to happen. Safin again asks for a video review. This would probably be his last one, I think. Yeah, Aspromonte, there was a period late in the first period where Safin was able to not get hit so many times in close, but now Aspromonte, for whatever reason, is making it work again. Aspromonte has 1, Safin has 0 now, because that one failed. Okay. Oh, Aspromonte has 2, never mind. That's one thing I wish they would keep track of better, is how many video reviews both people have left. Aspromonte marches. Safin keeps the distance wide at first, but there, okay. So Safin stopped retreating. Aspromonte made 1 extra advance, and that brought Safin close enough to land the counterattack, because Aspromonte wasn't ready to finish immediately after that advance happened. There was a split second of hesitation on his part, and that's all Safin needed to close out. Long beat attack, Safin parries. How is he going to find a way through, though? Again, goes quite fast. Like, Safin's solution to Aspromonte's very nice close-distance parry riposte has been to just go faster, and I'm not sure that's strategically the right move there. The faster you go, the more likely it is that you're going to end up infighting, and that's benefited Aspromonte quite a bit. Moreover, Safin could get another red card for Core to avoid a touch, or jostling, or something similar. Although, to be fair, it's very hard to find a way through Aspromonte's defense, unless you have him backed up right against the end of the strip, and you're going withheld and he's not expecting it. Like that. Same thing, but this time... Oh my god. Aspromonte's incredibly mad at this point. Ref's gonna go to the video review. Wow. It's very rare that you see foil bouts get this emotional over whether or not people are jostling or not, or core to avoid a touching or not. Again, another pretty long video review time for the ref. There was definitely a core. The question is it incidental or is it malicious in nature? Core happens, nothing. Okay. Referee calls it an incidental core, or a simple core, I guess is the official thing that's written in the rulebook. Safin still got to find a way through this defense, though, by Aspromonte. That's nice. That was a much larger compound action than I'm used to seeing. It looked like he was maybe feinting the flick to the front shoulder and then dropping down and hitting an 8. Wow. The front shoulder, though. Okay. Because his front shoulder was definitely in front of his back shoulder on that one. That time I'd put the core on Aspromonte, not on Safin. Although I would not give a yellow card there. It was not to avoid a touch. And even in situations this intense, very good sportsmanship there from Aspromonte, offering his hand in apology for any pain that may have been caused there. One of the great things about fencing, you can be in the most emotionally intense bout, but people are still very polite. 12-12 now. Safin does end up winning the bout, spoiler alert. But how's he going to do it is the question. First, no. Second arrives. He definitely found the lame and no light went off at first. Maybe Aspromonte was pulling the blade into him so hard that it grounded out. But at any rate, that's going to be a touch for Safin. Wow. I would give the... Yeah. He did that once before, too. Now he's hitting by pulling his right side back. And... yeah, he's been... Those last couple of infighting touches from Safin, he is now hitting on infighting, which is nice. But he has been pulling his left shoulder in front of his right shoulder. The touch still goes through, though. That's very interesting. Actually, I'm not sure the... Oh, wait, did this happen after the shoulder thing was reversed for the FIE? Or has that been official yet? I don't know. That may have been covering. So even if the shoulder call wasn't a thing, there was still a case to be made for Safin covering target with his back arm there, because it was right in the way of Aspromonte's blade. That is very nice. Kind of a blast from the past. Safin goes even faster with this withheld beat attack, or just withheld attack in general. And again, it's pretty rare that you see him do a cross step forwards in these situations. He really likes just a long, regular advanced lunge. Again, though, Aspromonte with the parry 6 behind the head. Very deadly action from him. But Safin is within 1. Close distance, and there's the parry riposte. Aspromonte acknowledges the touch. Safin thrilled to have won that bout. There's a very, very, I would hesitate to call it back and forth, but they were both adjusting things constantly on the fly, and you definitely saw the similarities there between the Russian and Italian styles. Again, I'm going to wish you all a Merry Christmas. Hope you enjoyed this bout, and as always, stay sharp.